Good morning. My computer's still being a pain in my butt. What's going on, guys? Good to see everybody. Everybody in the chat. Honda Bits. What's up, man? Lil's Indicator. Good to see you. AC Mining. Let's see who else is here. Alexander. We have Kyle Rosa. Nerd Beast. Automatic Beats, my man. Good to see you. You won some risers yesterday. Congratulations on that. Sadie sometimes. Who else? Let's see. Geek of all trades, my man. Yeti, as always. Old Man Crypto. Dakota Miner. Mike the Miner. You guys are awesome. All right, today, sorry, it's going to be a little bit of a short one. The wife has to go to work a little early, so my kids are fending for themselves up there eating cereal. So if I have to dip while you guys are watching something, that's why. All right, let's see how the market is looking today. Real quick, we'll start here, and then we'll get into some videos. So BTC 27.5. We have Ethereum 1,800. Not too bad. Could be worse. Dogecoin still 7 cents. Litecoin 81 bucks. Let's see, crypto bubbles over here. We have, look at this, Pepe down 16.8%. And you know why it's down? It's because I swapped $100 into it just for shits. That's why. It's exactly why. So you're all welcome. There you go. Buy the dip. Or maybe not. Just kidding. Not financial advice. Hex 22.6%. Actually, do any of you guys invest into Hex? I've heard of this for a while, but I don't invest in it personally. All right, let's see. Let me switch this back so you don't get blinded. Fear and Greed Index is 52 right now. Top 10 coins: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, USD Coin, XRP, Cardano, Lido Staked Ether, Dogecoin, and Solana in 10th. Polygon's knocked down to 11th. Interesting. All right, so I want to see. I didn't have a chance to watch this entire thing from Altcoin Daily, but it looks like Michael Saylor is slamming Warren Buffett in this video. So I thought the thumbnail was quite hysterical. So if you guys have any questions, you want to talk about anything, feel free. I'll probably pause it and do some commentary in between. But let's see what happens here between these two folks. If you guys have any questions, just add me in the chat.
You know, and I wouldn't normally criticize, but he and Charlie Munger did choose to go up on stage and answer questions and give financial guidance and advice.
Okay, MicroStrategy founder Michael Saylor, on a recent episode of the PBD podcast, just absolutely slammed Warren Buffett for his take on inflation, his take on Bitcoin. The full episode of the PBD podcast is linked down below. Awesome podcast. Watch the full episode. But here's that Michael Saylor clip, and I'll react along the way.
If you're a wealthy American, if you're Warren Buffett, you know, we have a very famous example, a video that's going viral on Twitter. 13-year-old girl says to Warren Buffett, I'm really worried about the U.S. dollar as the reserve currency of the world. We're printing lots and lots of dollars, and if we're not the reserve currency, the value of the dollar is going to collapse. We're going to have hyperinflation. What should I do, Mr. Buffett?
Real quick, the 13-year-old girl that asked the question sounds... She's very educated, but I have a feeling it was coached. It was written down by dad. You know what I mean? It was one of them. So keep that in mind.
Over the past few years, the Federal Reserve has telegraphed that they intend to monetize the debt by printing trillions of dollars, even as they insist that they're fighting inflation. Already, other major economies in the world, such as China, Saudi Arabia, and Brazil, are moving away from the dollar in anticipation of this. My question is, are we likely to face a time in the future when the U.S. dollar is no longer the global reserve currency? How is Berkshire prepared for this possibility? And what can we do as American citizens to attempt to shelter ourselves from what's beginning to look like the beginnings of de-dollarization?
Yeah, it could be mom or chat GPT. Absolutely. But, or uncle, as this word puts. But, hey, listen, nothing against this girl. She is brilliant for even, or having the balls to get up there and ask the question. It's actually pretty impressive. So let's see what happens.
Well, I should ask you to come up here and answer some questions. I mean,
What should I do, Mr. Buffett? You know, and I wouldn't normally criticize, you know, a respected, successful business person of his age, but he and Charlie Munger did choose to go up on stage and answer questions and give financial guidance and advice and investment advice, and they are looked up to. And so you watch Warren Buffett answer the question, and his answer is, well, yeah, I mean, I guess the Fed inflated the money, but they needed to. And, you know, it's really difficult, you know, and politicians have a difficult problem. And, yeah, you're right, it is a problem. And Munger will say, you know, the dollar's going to zero. It's going to zero. They know it's a problem. And then he kind of meanders through it with an end advice, which is, well, you know, I don't know, but, you know, America's a great country.
it's very interesting. I mean, we are the reserve currency, and I see no option for any other currency to be the reserve currency. And I think that nobody understands the situation better than Jay Powell. And but he's not in control of fiscal policy. And every now and then he drops a few hints. And there was no question that when the pandemic broke out, I mean, it was a semi-war-like situation, but nobody knows how far you can go with the paper currency before it gets out of control. And particularly if you're the world's reserve currency. Nobody knows the answer to that.
So Warren Buffett, yes, he's still answering the question. I'm going to let that play, then we'll immediately go to Michael Saylor. I just want you to be able to have the full context, like always.
It's easy for America to do a lot. But if we do too much, it's very hard to see how you recover once you let the genie out of the bottle and people lose faith in the currency. And they behave in an entirely different manner than they do when they feel that if they put some money in the bank or have a pension plan or whatever it may be, that they're going to get out something with roughly equal purchasing power. And it just changes the economy, and all kinds of things can happen then.
Yeah, someone in the chat just said, are these the old guys from the Muppets? Tell me this doesn't look like them. Oh my God, what are their names? Please tell me their names. I totally forget, but I will Google a picture in a minute.
And I can't predict them, and nobody else can predict them, but I do know they aren't good. And we will see. And I do this as I voted for both parties, and it's not limited to politicians of either party.
I found it. Hold on. Oh, that's hysterical. That's hysterical. All right.
Or anything of the sort. People take positions. Some of them understand what they're doing. Some of them don't understand what they're doing. If they put me on some medical board, I don't understand what I'm doing. It's not that there's nothing wrong with the fact that you can't master everything. You can't all be Isaac Newton, but you can't go around pretending you do or making decisions on it. And we are not as well off in relation to curbing inflation expectations, which become self-fulfilling. And we are not as well off as we were earlier. And Berkshire is better prepared than most investments for that kind of a period. But I said this in the annual report, but we aren't perfectly prepared because there's no way to perfectly prepare. You don't know what course of action will occur. And it's a very political decision now. It's a tribal decision to some degree. And you hope for leadership that actually will do something, recognizes the problem. And America's an incredible society, rich. We got everything going for us, but that doesn't mean we can just print money indefinitely as debt. And it'll be interesting to see how it turns out.
He's like, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. You know what? Honestly, shout out to even though he's like an old dinosaur and he doesn't want to change his ways, can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? That was pretty impressive that he actually gave that long-winded answer to that girl's question without forgetting half of it, like our own president. Just saying. Like, he would have been off topic and totally left field. He actually held on to his straight train of thought the entire time. It was pretty impressive. So I don't know. How do you guys feel about him? I'm sure he's one of the most successful, human beings that ever lived. It's just, I don't know. At some point you got to come around, but again, he's, how old, and he's only done things one way for so long, so you can't really blame him.
That a good answer. Well, Michael Saylor had this to say about Warren Buffett. Whenever we get these notable people speaking about cryptocurrency, I will make a video, so make sure you subscribe for daily updates.
And I'll rip it off, so make sure you guys subscribe, okay? Thank you.
And then he kind of meanders through it with an end advice, which is, well, I don't know, but America's a great country. Don't bet against America. But the blood curdling, terrifying, depressing, takeaway from the clip is the 13-year-old girl knows what the problem is. The country's full of people that can articulate the problem and write 1,000-page books on the problem. If you're rich in America, you don't have the answer because you're too comfortable, right? And so what you've got is a bunch of mega billionaires that are very successful in America, but they don't have an answer or solution to the 13-year-old girl. The solution to that question was Bitcoin, right? And Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger can't allow themselves to understand that because they're so successful, they don't need to open their mind to and embrace a new idea.
Look at, yeah, I don't know what this volcano's about, and this thing just, I can't stop staring at this the entire time. Jumping up and down. Whoever made this, such a troll. Like, it's literally that friend that will antagonize you the whole time. Like, that's who made this video.
If Warren Buffett woke up tomorrow and his bank seized all of his assets and they were devalued to zero, and he was a pauper, and his neighbor, the Uber driver, was walking around with $100,000 worth of Bitcoin on a hardware wallet, Warren would say, "What is that again? Explain that to me."
Yeah.
What do you mean? My government, my bank can't steal all my money? That's a pretty good idea, right? And so I think that when you're a refugee from fleeing Iraq or you're crossing the border, and when you try to go through an airport and a hostile regime steals all your money and seizes all your gold, when you have to flee your 1,000-acre or 10,000-acre farm in Africa because a hostile regime decided it was illegal for people like you to own land, when that happens, you become a believer in a non-sovereign store of value crypto asset network, which is what Bitcoin is. The people that came to this country, the Huguenots, the settlers, the colonists, I think they understood it. I mean, they had all their property seized from them from wherever they came from. And their idea was, here's a place where I can own something and people might not steal it from me. As soon as they got here, people started trying to steal it from them again, right? That's the human condition.
Just slower.
Just slower. But that's why they kept going west. It's like, I got to go west where there's no politicians to steal it from me, right? And that's a pretty powerful driver. So I think that the conclusion is people that are comfortable, they're fat, dumb, and happy in the United States are going to continue to reject new ideas like crypto assets, like Bitcoin, because they don't have to. If I don't have to embrace a new idea, when I get to a certain age, I won't. And that is as old as the Thomas Kuhn.
I mean, that's a good point, right? You don't have to. I mean, you get to a certain age, it's like you don't have to change how you are. You know what I mean?
Of scientific revolution. He said, paradigm shifts only get embraced in times of war or when the old guard dies.
Wow. I think Michael Saylor said some very poignant things. And finally, for the first time ever on that same podcast, Michael Saylor spoke about Bitcoin ordinals. Bitcoin ordinals are a catalyst for adoption, says Saylor. Every time someone builds an application that's cool on Bitcoin, like all the ordinals and inscriptions, and whatever that are driving up transaction fees, it's a catalyst. And in crazy, surprising news, a big win for meme coins in general, but especially Pepe, Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss just added Pepe to Gemini Exchange. When Pepe? Today. Pepe is now available for deposits on Gemini. And by the way, I don't own Pepe. I wish I did. I wish I would have been crazy enough, 2 weeks ago to buy some. I didn't. Also, for those of you who will be in Miami, May 18th for the Bitcoin conference, I did put out a contest on our Twitter. Win 2 tickets to the comedy show Web3's a Joke. But links down below. I hope to see you there.
Go check it out. Shout out to Altcoin Daily for that video. Real quick, there was some news about Coinbase. I just don't have too much time to stream today, but let me see real quick if I can find it. Hold on. You know what? Where is it? 1 second, fellas. Let me look. You know what? I'll just do it over here. It will be easier. That way you guys can see what I'm doing. Cointelegraph. Let's go to the home page. I'm pretty sure I saw something about Coinbase, and they put out a meme, and people are pissed about it. I mean, not a meme. They put out a question on Twitter asking what they should do about Pepe, right? Let me see. Hold on. And they called it like already a hate symbol. Here it is. All right. Sorry about the non-dark mode, but Coinbase calls Pepe a hate symbol, prompting calls to boycott the exchange. It says an email newsletter sent out to Coinbase customers on May 10th caused significant backlash from the Pepe community. So it says they sent out a email basically to everybody in Coinbase. Apparently, I don't know. I haven't looked, to be honest, but it says describing the Pepe meme as a hate symbol, co-opted by alt-right groups, has drawn significant ire from the Pepe meme coin community. Prominent crypto influencer Rovik.eth shared a screenshot of the email newsletter from May 10th to his 96,000 followers, which cites a 2016 discussion from the Anti-Defamation League to place the frog-themed character in its database of online hate symbols. So this is the screenshot. I'm not going to read too much more of this. I'm just going to read this right here. It says, what you should know about Pepe, the meme coin at the moment. Pepe, which was issued around 3 weeks ago with a comically huge supply of 420 trillion tokens, has been leading the meme coin activity. The token is based on the Pepe the Frog. The Pepe the Frog meme. That's a weird sentence. Which first surfaced on the internet nearly 20 years ago as a comic strip character. Over time, it has been co-opted as a hate symbol by alt-right groups, according to the Anti-Defamation League. But yeah, hold on. Is that what Coinbase said? Let's see. Click on this, bring it up. That wasn't the email, was it? Interesting. You know what? If anybody has that, let me know. If anybody has the actual email, I don't know if that's the email they said or they sent. It might have been. I mean, it says it is. So whatever. Anyways, so I don't know if Coinbase is going to list this Pepe token or not, but if it does, I assume we're going to see another rally. That's just my opinion, but I guess we'll have to find out. All right, so crypto bull market, is it back? We're going to see what Mr. Coin Bureau has to say. My wife loves hearing this guy's voice, so I figured I'd play it again this morning just to start our day off, right? If you guys have any questions, add me in the chat, and we'll elaborate a little bit as we watch this. So let's see what he has to say. Mr. Guy, I'm going to turn him up to the 1.25 speed. If it's too fast, guys, let me know, and I'll turn it back to normal.
Is the crypto bull market returning? Well, the answer to this pressing question ultimately depends on which indicators you're looking at, hence why everyone is asking it. Now, some indicators suggest that crypto spring has sprung, while others suggest that the bear market will soon bite back. So today, I'm going to examine these conflicting indicators, explain what they suggest in simple terms, and tell you where the crypto market could be headed. You do not want to miss this. Let's start with everyone's favorite indicator, price action. Now, if you watched our video about when the crypto bear market will end, you'll know that we define a crypto bull market as a long period of positive price action. In other words, multiple months of higher highs and higher lows for most major cryptos. As you can see, BTC has had 4 consecutive months of positive price action, a trend which began in January this year. BTC is therefore in a new bull market, according to our basic definition. There are a few caveats, however, and the first is that this multi-month rally hasn't happened for most major altcoins. Apart from ETH, almost every major altcoin has been moving sideways over the last 4 months. In a true crypto bull market, you tend to see breadth in the positive price action, meaning that most altcoins tag along for the ride. The absence of this effect is evidence of a bear market rally, not a bull market. Additional evidence of this being a bear market rally can be found in ETH's price action. As you can see, ETH didn't have the same double top that BTC did during the previous bull market. ETH's price action looks more like what you'd see in a standard market cycle. This could be due to institutional investment. Regardless, when we compare ETH's price action to the famous Wall Street cheat sheet, it suggests that we're just past the anger stage. That said, ETH could easily be in the disbelief phase that comes before the beginning of a new bull market. This ties into the second caveat, and that's trading volume. Data from CoinMarketCap suggests that trading volume for BTC has continued to decline as prices have risen. This effect is even more pronounced for ETH. Now, this divergence of rising prices and falling volume is further evidence of a bear market rally and also suggests that a reversal could be imminent. However, this decline in trading volume could be due to institutional investors investing in crypto via centralized proxies like futures contracts that are settled in cash due to concerns around crypto regulation. This would actually explain why the trading volume for ETH is so low relative to BTC. Now, the caveat to this caveat is that ETH has also been looking extremely weak against BTC. ETH has actually been in a long-term downtrend against BTC since last summer. The same trend can be seen for most major altcoins, and you'll know this if you follow Ben Cowan, who's been talking about it a lot recently.
Well, let's be real, right? Everything, the entire situation here with just the US dollar, the banking situations, nothing is going to be exactly the same. Like, history doesn't exactly repeat, but it typically rhymes, right? So people have been calling for somewhat of a pump up until, I'd say, like in the summer, right? We'll have a pump around there and then a pullback again in November and then another pump after the halving. So we'll see, but nobody can predict the future, I guess. Just hold on for the ride.
Again, for this to be a true crypto bull market, there must be breadth. Oh,
and I forgot to say, actually, Mr. Powermind's crypto. So the L3, if you're looking at the L3s, those are, you know how like the S9 is getting phased or was phased out last run when the S19J Pros and all those came out. The L3 is going to get pushed out just like that. It's going to be equivalent to that because the new L9 or whatever is supposed to be coming out in like, when is it coming out? I think they said August, September, rather. So, yeah, I mean, do what you will, but I don't think that that's a good idea, to be honest. I don't care what your electric is. That's just my opinion.
Be wide participation, at least among most major altcoins. To be fair, we could soon start to see more money rotate out of BTC into ETH and most major altcoins. If this happens, it will be additional evidence of a new bull market. For the time being, though, Bitcoin dominance continues to increase. For context, Bitcoin dominance measures how much of crypto's total market cap is coming from BTC. Bitcoin dominance is currently close to 50% and has been in a long-term uptrend since last September, showing no signs of slowing.
Not financial
The
advice.
absence of rotation out of BTC into ETH and most major altcoins could be due to another factor I mentioned a few moments ago, and that's crypto regulations. Now, before you roll your eyes, you should know that crypto regulations are required for institutions to invest their trillions into the crypto market. Obviously, the largest institutional investors are based in the United States. Institutional investors in the US were likely the largest contributors to the previous crypto bull market. Unfortunately, the regulatory situation in the US has deteriorated significantly over the last few months, and that is putting it mildly. In addition to the threats against specific crypto projects and companies by the SEC, the Fed and other banking regulators have been actively working to debank the crypto industry. Their primary targets have been 24/7 payment systems that are analogous to the Fed's upcoming FedNow payment system. Stablecoin issuers seem to be at the top of the Fed's hit list. Now, this is a problem because the crypto industry is heavily reliant on stablecoins to function. If anything were to happen to a stablecoin issuer in the United States, it could do serious damage to the crypto market and be a disaster for the entire DeFi niche. However, not all stablecoin issuers are based in the United States, and most crypto trading happens against offshore stablecoins, namely Tether's USDT. This means that the crypto market would be mostly fine if a US-based stablecoin were taken down. A crackdown on a US stablecoin issuer may also not materialize, of course. More importantly, there are other countries with lots of institutional investors that are introducing sensible crypto regulations. If you watch
real quick, Mr. Dan R said U.S. dumped 18. Let me see, where the hell is it? I'll just lose that. He asked why the title. For one, the first video we watched, it was like a little bit back and forth, Michael Saylor and Warren Buffett. That's why. But let's see. What did he say? Because the U.S. dumped 1.8K Bitcoin yesterday. Interesting. I want to see if I can find that. That's pretty interesting. Mr. Jonesy says lots of FUD today. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, everything gets worse before it gets better, right? I don't see the US dollar getting better anytime soon, so it's just a matter of time before we see Bitcoin pump or altcoins pump.
Watched our video about the countries that will drive the next crypto bull market, you'll know that the list includes the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Hong Kong, Singapore, and even France. You'll also know that each of these jurisdictions will be introducing these sensible crypto regulations very soon. France has technically done so already. The Markets in Crypto Assets, or MiCA regulation, was passed by European politicians less than a month ago. Money is already flowing into EU crypto startups as a result. And it looks like Hong Kong is next. Officials there recently announced that crypto licensing requirements will be revealed by the end of the month, with retail investor access to crypto coming on the 1st of June. It's possible that lots of money from the Chinese mainland will find its way into the crypto market via Hong Kong.
It's kind of funny. So like you guys are saying that is true. That's why the price dipped to 26K. It's crazy how like against Bitcoin the entire United States is. But they'll go and seize all this Bitcoin from the Mt. Gox bullshit, and then they'll sell it for profit. It blows my mind. So I'm wondering if that's like part of where that Bitcoin came from. Do you guys think that? Let me know in the chat. I'd be very interested. Oh, and actually, we have some huge news. Actually, you know what? I'll say it after the end of this video. Myself and Yeti are going to be talking to Mr. Sumi. Is that how you say his name? From Dynex. So we'll talk about that at the end.
Also likely that lots of crypto companies will relocate to the region. That's because Hong Kong is requiring banks to open accounts for crypto clients. This is significant because crypto companies in crypto-friendly jurisdictions like the UAE are still reportedly struggling to open bank accounts. The caveat is that crypto investment from Hong Kong will reportedly be limited to the largest cryptocurrencies by market cap, and crypto niches like DeFi could be completely off limits. Even so, there are, of course, many ways of accessing altcoins once you've got your hands on a crypto like BTC or ETH. In any case, it's likely that the passing of positive crypto regulations in these countries will be enough to increase the conviction in crypto's recent price action and confirm that it's the beginning of a new bull market. However, this assumes that macro conditions will encourage crypto investing in these regions. As most of you will know, the primary macro factor that's been moving the crypto market is interest rates, specifically the interest rate decisions coming from the Federal Reserve. The fact that the Fed seems to be near the end of its rate hiking cycle has been one of the contributors to the recent rally. Another contributor has been the expectation that the Fed will soon be forced to pivot, i.e., start lowering interest rates. Investors believe the Fed will do this in response to a crisis of some kind. An example of this could be the stress in the commercial real estate sector, which we covered in a recent video. Now, the irony to this expectation is that if the Fed is forced to pivot in response to a crisis, chances are the crisis will also crash the markets. Case in point, sudden rate cuts have historically corresponded to stock market crashes, not rallies. It's possible a rate cut will have the same effect on the crypto market. However, this presumes that there will be a crisis that forces the Fed to pivot. It's possible that there won't be a crisis at all. In the
Ooh, Mr. Patrick Murphy, thank you for that info. He said, no Mt. Gox to be released phase 1 later this summer. Feds auctioned off first round of seized Silk Road BTC. Well, the seized BTC that a hacker stole from Silk Road, I think. Interesting. That's pretty cool. And then Condibit said, U.S. government remains a top Bitcoin holder with seized stashed value at 5.6 billion. Jeez. As of March 25th, 2023, the U.S. government held 205,515 Bitcoin worth 5.6 billion. That's insane, man.
Absence of a crisis, the only thing that will convince the Fed to pivot is falling inflation. As it so happens, headline inflation has been falling fast over the last few months. The question there is whether inflation will fall to the Fed's 2% target, and the answer here is less clear. Core inflation figures of all kinds suggest that services-related inflation isn't coming down nearly as quickly. If core inflation gets stuck at, say, 4%, then the Fed will likely keep interest rates slightly above that level. And the longer the Fed keeps interest rates high, the higher the likelihood that markets will crash, that something in the financial system will break, or both. Risk assets like cryptocurrencies could be hit the hardest because they are the most reliant on lower interest rates for positive price action. If you're wondering why, the answer is liquidity. That is, the amount of money swimming around in the market and the economy. As interest rates rise, liquidity gets drained out of the financial system as people rush to pay down more expensive debts and have a harder time getting access to loans. Lo and behold, the supply of money in the US economy, as measured by M2, has contracted the most in decades over the last 4 months. This should have caused risk assets like crypto to crash, but they pumped instead. This can easily be explained by the fact that there is more to the world than the United States. Although the money supply has contracted in the US, countries like China and Japan have continued to stimulate, and this money has been slowly but surely finding its way into US assets. The caveat is that this stimulus may not continue for much longer, at least in China, where economic growth is returning. Another reason why risk assets have rallied is because of the Fed and the Treasury. The Fed recently expanded its balance sheet in response to the banking crisis. Meanwhile, the Treasury has been spending money from its de facto checking account due to the debt ceiling, which is increasing liquidity. However, the Fed's balance sheet recently started decreasing again, and the debt ceiling will soon be raised, allowing the Treasury to issue bonds again. Both factors could further drain liquidity, and this could further prolong a crypto bear market. Then again, there is more to the world than the United States. In fact, much of the world has been actively trying to get away from the US dollar. This could have some very interesting effects for the crypto market during the next bull cycle. For starters, some countries, such as Iran, are reportedly using crypto for trade, and others, such as Russia, may follow suit. This could change crypto's categorization as a risk asset to something more analogous to a commodity like gold, at least in these regions. Steady crypto demand from these regions could create a price floor for large cryptos like BTC and ETH, the same way they've created an apparent price floor for gold. By they, I mean the central banks, which accumulated record levels of gold last year. This was in large part due to the sanctions against Russia, which caused many central banks to think twice about keeping large amounts of reserves in US dollar assets. In retrospect, sanctions could prove to be the catalyst that killed the dollar. While these central banks haven't begun accumulating crypto yet, the Bank for International Settlements announced last December that central banks will be allowed to hold up to 2% of their balance sheets in crypto starting in 2025. You'll know this if you watched our video about that historic announcement. By that time, the crypto bull market should be in full swing, and if it's not, well, it's likely that'll be the catalyst that kicks it off. That's because 2% of central bank balance sheets currently works out to around $3.6 trillion. It's possible that some central banks have begun secretly accumulating crypto already. And it's not just the central banks either. Trust in the financial system is deteriorating at a rapid rate, and it appears that the crypto market will continue to grow as trust in the traditional financial system continues to decline. This is evidenced by how much the crypto market pumped in response to the banking crisis. If the banking crisis continues in some way, shape, or form, you can expect to see more of the same positive price action for most cryptocurrencies. Even if the banking crisis doesn't continue, central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, are coming, and they could have the same effect on the crypto.
What do you guys think about CBDCs? Do you think they're inevitable? To be honest, just let me know in the chat. I honestly do think it's kind of inevitable, but I guess we'll just have to see.
Crypto market. This is because CBDCs will make it possible for governments and central banks to control how you spend and how you save. As with the banking crisis, the average person will quickly realize that government money is not a safe place to store their wealth and will start to seek out alternative stores of value.
I mean, I'm pretty sure most of us already know that. Don't leave your money in the government because they can control it. Just like banks. If you put, I don't know if you guys have ever, or anybody here knows, like the fine print on your savings account and checking account, like any money that you deposit into the bank, they can take it for anything. Like with if we break out into war and they need the funding, they can take all your money. Like it's literally written down in your little fine print of your checking accounts, savings accounts, everything along those lines. I should find that one day. We should talk about it because it's kind of weird.
The practical effect of this will be the same as the marginal buying by central banks. The average person will likely allocate a small percentage of their portfolio to assets that exist outside of the financial system, including crypto. This percentage will become bigger if these alternatives become easier to use.
And yes, they do have to give you an IOU. But I mean, let's be real. How trusting is that?
Now, this might sound like something that will only happen far out in the future, but it's already happening now. All around the world, individuals and institutions are turning to crypto, either because their currencies are collapsing, their banking systems are struggling, or because CBDCs are being rolled out. As I hinted a few moments ago, this combined buying could set a price floor for many cryptocurrencies. This price floor will likely rise as the appeal of traditional currencies continues to decline. As such, we could very well be at the beginning of a crypto supercycle, or at least a crypto market cycle unlike any other. The caveat to this is that the incumbents will not go quietly. This potential supercycle will likely be accompanied by unprecedented amounts of price volatility as entities in the existing financial system try to crush or control crypto. Some would say this has already started, and the recent price action is proof. But back to the crypto market cycle. As most of you will know, crypto tends to follow a 4-year cycle. This is believed to be because of the Bitcoin halving, which occurs roughly every 4 years. The last Bitcoin halving happened in May 2020, and what followed was an almost 2-year-long crypto bull market. However, many would argue that the crypto bull market began prior to the previous halving. BTC had already been in a strong uptrend for months, and it hit 14K in May 2019. In fact, that early 2019 rally looks eerily similar to the one we're seeing now, 4 months of green, albeit with much more volume. This begs the question of whether history will repeat, specifically whether BTC will experience a flash crash that retests its bear market lows of around 15K. In theory, this is very unlikely because the previous flash crash back down to around 3K was caused by the beginning of the pandemic in March 2020. In practice, however, this is still possible, and that's because there are so many similar catalysts to choose from. A 2008-style financial crisis caused by commercial real estate, a war between China and the US over Taiwan, civil wars due to inflation and political polarization, or that global cyber attack predicted by the World Economic Forum. More about the WEF's cyber attack simulation in the description. I digress. Now, even if history does somehow repeat, a retest of the crypto bear market lows would likely be short-lived. It would also not change the fact that we're in the same time frame when the previous crypto bull market arguably began, 1 year prior to the next Bitcoin halving, which is scheduled for next April. However,
but there hasn't been this much stuff going on in the last, we had the Black Swan event when COVID hit, right? But other than that, this is a total different financial situation with these banks collapsing, with the US dollar just going to complete shit, the debt growing by the second. It's so different than what we're used to. So we're going to see some volatility swings. That would be my guess. But guys, hit that like button. Appreciate you all for hanging out. We have a couple minutes left, and we're going to get out of here.
This analysis only applies to BTC. If you look at the historical price action of most major altcoins, you'll notice most of their prices flatlined between May 2018 and the Bitcoin halving in May 2020. You'll also notice that most of them only hit their bottoms during the pandemic flash crash. This means that even if the crypto bull market has begun, you still have at least a year to accumulate your favorite altcoins, and it's possible you'll still manage to catch the bottom on some of them. The caveat is that some of these altcoins will never recover, especially if interest rates stay higher for longer.
That's true.
To be honest, the effects that high interest rates would have on the crypto market are not clear because the crypto market has never experienced a period of sustained high rates. Still, common sense suggests that most cryptocurrencies, possibly even large altcoins like ETH, will not fare well under such conditions. For established proof-of-stake cryptos like ETH, the yield on staking rewards needs to be higher than the yields on traditional financial investments for institutions to be interested. In some cases, they need to be much higher to compensate for that additional risk that comes with investing in crypto versus bonds, for instance. For most other altcoins, there needs to be lots of speculation for them to receive heavy inflows, and these levels of speculation and inflows require lower interest rates. To my mind, the most speculative cryptos in existence are all the Ethereum competitors, as they stand to capture the most value if they succeed. Logically then, you should be on the lookout for the most speculative cryptos if you think interest rates will come back to zero. If you think that interest rates will stay higher, well, be on the lookout for cryptos that have the largest cash flow in the form of fees or yield, or the potential to capture this cash flow. I'll let you do the research on that.
All right, that's going to be it. That's all he's going to say. That is the end of that show today. All right, now, big news announcement. Myself and Mr. Yeti, we're going to be interviewing Sumi from Dynex, and we're going to do it live. So we're thinking about doing the 23rd Yeti. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. It's not next week, but the week after. He's available pretty much all day. So I'm trying to see what you guys think. Should it be a morning stream or an afternoon stream? What's better for you guys? If I did more or less around 8 a.m. or 2 p.m. EST, you guys let me know. I know it's kind of late over in the UK, so I think Yeti's 5 hours ahead of me, and I think Sumi is 7 hours ahead of me. So I think it would be that'd be 9 p.m. for him and 7 p.m. for you. So yeah, I think that's not too late. I think he'd be all right with that, but it's up to you guys. Afternoon, okay. Afternoon. Yeah, I was thinking afternoon too, but I'm happy that he's going to do a live question with you guys. So I just want to know, is there anything specific? Actually, you know what? I don't even want to ask him. I don't want to give him a list. We're just gonna rapid fire ask questions and find out. live. I'll learn with you. I'm not going to give him any preempted questions or anything along those lines. So if you guys have any specific questions, kind of get them together in your head and just be prepared for that. And I'll I will absolutely put the like I'll schedule it like a week in advance just so people know. Yes, I'm definitely going to be asking about the voice changer because I want to know that. I haven't spoke with him personally except for like through DMs, but that's about it. So I got to reach out to him today and hopefully we'll get an answer, which would be pretty amazing. Looks like Bitcoin's still staying around the same. While you guys are answering that in the chat, I don't think nothing's really going on today price-wise. So 27.4, we'll see if there's a jump or not. But stock market, what, opens up? Did it already open or does it open up at 9:30? I think it's 9:30, right? So we'll see what happens. I wonder if things are going to pump again today. Actually, you know what? Real quick, before we get out of here, I do want to see what is the most earnings on the 24 hours. BitGet token, 6.6%. Uniswap, 2.8%. Litecoin's up 2.5%. Interesting. Let's see. Is Bo Jackson doing the interview? He could, man. I think it's just a click of a button. Let me see.
Does it still work? It does. I got a voice changer too, man.
There you go. You bring him back. Bring back Mr. Bo Jackson. All right. Anyways, guys, you're all awesome. I appreciate you all. Yeah, just stay. I guess stay tuned for that, and I'm gonna touch base with them. So I'll try to schedule it for this afternoon. I mean, not this afternoon. The afternoon on, I think it was the 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what we'll do. Mr. DJ, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Yeah, I'll message him today. I'll confirm it, and then I'll let you guys know this afternoon when we go live around 2 p.m. I will try to do my best to be on time. It might be a little iffy though. I gotta run to the store and stuff today. So, anyways, 9:30 stocks are pumping. Gotcha. Came with Smokey Dan, my man. All right, appreciate you all. You guys are awesome. I gotta go take care of my kids. Daddy duty calls. Hopefully you guys have a good day. Oh, hold on, mine some 10s on. I didn't know that. Let's rate them. Let's jump over there and see. Add redirect. Mine some 10. He is not. Mine some. I don't think I can rate him. He has to approve it. I don't think I can rate him. Unfortunately. I don't have it on here. 1 second. Let's try to find the link to his stream. If anybody has the link to his stream, put it in the chat. I'm gonna look it up right now. Bear with me, fellas. Because if mine some 10 is going live or having a what's it called? What the hell is that called? Can't even think of it. Oh no, this is just a video of his. I don't see him. A premiere. That's what I was thinking of. A premiere. Who has the link? Let me see. Who's got it? Patrick Murphy, you're always on top. You're always on top. Oh, you don't have it. Damn it. All right. I don't see him going live. I can't tell. Let's see. Mine some 10's interview with Daniel Keller was excellent. I have to watch that. Yes, premiere. Thank you very much, Sadie. Sometimes I can't forward you guys over there. I don't know why. So hopefully you guys go check out Mine Some 10. I will leave a link to his channel right now in the chat. Oh wait, there it is. Hold on, I got it. I got the premiere. Let me see if I can. This is it right here, so you guys can see it. So you guys can see it. This guy, Mine Some 10. Let's see. Let's give him a like. Let's see if we can shoot you guys over there. I don't know if it'll let me though. Mine Some 10. If you're here, oh, I can. Oh no, nope. This is why. Ready? Here, you guys can see it. This is what you have to do, Mr. Mine Some 10. You got to go into your stuff. You have to redirect privileges. You have to ask. Oh, I have to ask you to add me to your thing. So you just gotta choose that you can be rated by anybody, and then I could do it for you next time. I apologize, but anyways, guys, here is the link. Go check out Mine Some 10. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you all for hanging out with me. He's doing his premiere right now. So yeah, let's get on it. All right, I'll catch you guys soon. Have a good day. Peace out. See you guys this afternoon, 2 p.m. EST.